Okay guys, so what I want to do in this video is just kind of quickly tell you the story of how I scaled well past $1 million a month with Market Hero extremely quickly. And I want to stress one thing: this didn't come in like a slow, gradual growth or anything like that. It just boom, instantly. And so I want to kind of tell you how I did that, because it doesn't come in small, little, gradual increases. That's not how scaling works. It comes all at once. And it happened in multiple increases by copying and pasting a strategy over and over again. That's what scaling is. And so I kind of want to show you the story behind Market Hero, kind of the mistakes, and then we're really going to dive into the front end. So as you know, there's the 3 layers of business. We got traffic, we got our back end, and we got our front end. Now, I spent a lot of time talking with Russell Brunson how he grew ClickFunnels at the beginning, and how Russell essentially grew ClickFunnels explosively at first. And if you talk to him, ClickFunnels wasn't necessarily successful right out the gate. And the same thing with Market Hero. It's actually very unsuccessful, and from talking to Russell, I got the same exact thing. Now, what you're going to see in this course is not carbon copy what Russell is doing. He gave me insights, and I took them and ran with them and did my own thing. We have a little bit different businesses, and that's fine. You want to learn from the best people. But essentially, what Russell did is he started Facebook ads. He created a high-ticket webinar. This paid for the people coming in, got people on the ClickFunnels, and he would sign people on the ClickFunnels in the back end. That's essentially the business. So just like I talked about before, start on Facebook, send them to a high-ticket webinar, use that to scale the pay for ad costs. We're getting a ton of people onto ClickFunnels free trial and all sorts of stuff like that, and then got them on to ClickFunnels. And then he had a lot of supporting offers and stuff down here. So that was essentially the business model I was going after when I got into this. So the first thing I did, once we had Market Hero operational, is of course I launched it to my list and everything. Did very poorly. I have a big list of SEOs, and I don't really have the biggest audience at this time. And so no one wants to buy a brand new autoresponder. They just don't. Like, autoresponder is something you just can't mess up in your business. It's not something you want that's brand new. It's not something you want deeply embedded in your business. So it's not like I jumped to 1 to 0 to 3,500 people that we have on right now. It went like this. So I knew Russell paid for most of his audience with a high ticket webinar. So what we did first off is we launched the 8X Academy offer, which is a $997 webinar that can be split into 3 payments. Or I don't actually have a payment plan anymore, and I'll get into why here in a second, but I was going to give you this. So of course I launched this to my list, this webinar, and I launched the paid traffic, and at first taking off, huge, okay? A lot of money coming in, maybe like $100,000, $200,000 a month. That's great. Except Market Hero has a very high hard cost. We have a very large staff, and so we need $100,000 just to break even, which we make in like 3 days now. So that's great. That's awesome. But did very well, and then it went to shit. And the reason it went to shit is because the webinar was written for expert marketers and selling a beginner level product. What do I mean by beginner level? Price. $997 is a beginner level price. That you might not think like that, but $1,000 when you're marketing to an audience, you want it to preferably be about 1/50th to 1/100th of their income. So, or a little bit stretching that. So obviously a person that's making $20,000 a year, doesn't have much money, isn't going to buy this. And that's probably not a person that's getting into marketing. Most people are going to be making around 40, 50 a year to 100K a year. And so that's really the market right there. That's beginners. That's beginner people right there. A expert is going to be buying $2,000, $3,000 products like you're buying right now. They're not going to be buying $997 products that teach kind of the basics all the way up. They don't need to learn that. They're going to be hiring coaching and stuff like that. Anyways, the webinar was written for experts, but marketing to beginners. And so it did very, very poorly after I got through my initial fan base and stuff, which happens like that. So restructured the webinar for cold traffic. I worked on, developed my cold traffic pitch, which is what we're going to get into on this front end. And so that started getting a consistent 3x ROI, and on some ad sources breaking even, which is great. So this got us to about 500 leads a day. That's cool. So every single week, about 3,500 people. Every month, about 10,000 people. That's pretty dang good. Now, at this point in time, what I need to focus on was getting these people signed up for Market Hero, because this wasn't really happening. And so again, the back end right here, these people are signing up, but again, nobody wants to hop on a new autoresponder. And then once autoresponder got good, it's still the initial challenge getting people to switch autoresponders and stuff like that. It's pretty challenging, but I need to develop a funnel to get these people on here. So I developed a funnel that gets about 5 to 7% of these people to use the free trial or get them on Market Hero. So there you go. Now, anyways, we were able to grow this pretty efficiently, and so the way I really increased this business was, one, by getting about 4 to 5 really key affiliate offers, which I eventually kind of replaced, phased out, adding in a high-end mastermind, which is our Black Card program, and then also adding in some supplemental software and memberships. So this is how we really increased the business overall. So we got the back end. Now, what we have right here is a working business, but 500 leads a week is really slow scaling. For a lot of people, that's awesome. For me, that's or 500 leads a day. That's not awesome. That's not as fast as I want to do. I want to be making $1 million, $2 million, $3 million bucks a month. So the way we need to do this is I went out there and I thought of who else would use autoresponders. Okay, first off, consultants doing consulting on email or marketing or doing consulting for businesses. Who else would do this? Shopify users. As you can tell, Market Hero and the platform is heavily geared to Shopify users. So what we did is I cloned over this cold traffic pitch to my Shopify webinar and my cold traffic webinar. Then I hired a coach to teach Shopify because I don't fucking do Shopify. And I hired a coach to do the consulting because I don't do consulting. Now, I'm not going to talk about the percentages, but they are in my favor because I'm providing all the traffic, and I'll get into working up these deals and later things. But with consulting, what I was able to do is bring this down below the line. It's got me another, let's just say, 500 leads a day. Now, as you know, Shopify is very hot right now, so this got me another 1,000 leads a day. Awesome. So at this point in time, this got me to about 2,000 leads a day. So from 3,500 leads a week to about 14,000. Now, what you need to understand is this back end down here didn't really change at all. It didn't change at all. I still have, each of these webinars probably does about 2 to 3x on the ad spend. And the big purpose right here is I went from 3,500 leads a week to $14,000 a week just by adding additional front-end offers. You see how the front-end offers in this business work together to support the back-end. And so you have this back-end right here that monetizes the customers, and you have a front-end right here that makes some money, but more so gets the customers. So front-end gets the customers, back-end monetizes them. And this right here took us to 14,000 leads a week. This takes us, right here to a little bit over, it's going to take us to about 1.3 in gross revenue right there, probably at about a 250 to 300K a month ad spend. And what's going on down here is this grows by about $50 to $100,000 a month when all stuff is kind of said and done. So this right here builds a back end that reoccurring makes us about 400K a month just right here on the users that are coming in. Then when we have another wet software here, that'll make us 50 to 100. And then when we have a little membership right here, they'll make us, an extra 50K a month. And then we have our high end right here. That makes us another 100K a month. And all these numbers just keep going up and up and up. Now, another big breakthrough right here was kind of cutting out affiliates. I don't hate our affiliates or anything like that, but that's a 50% commission and delayed payout. I can literally make webinars that are better than all of their offers. If they're info products, I just understand how to pitch and make an offer and then hire a coach. So what I did is, instead of doing these ones, is pushing all the people that also come down here back up to these webinars, and that adds another substantial amount of income. So this right here is essentially how we got to $1 million a month, and this is the business structure that works, and we're going to be going through this phase by phase and executing on each and every single one of these. So this is kind of the story behind it. I want to kind of break down how we did it. Of course, another big breakthrough was getting on AdWords. And also really some big breakthroughs on Facebook. I'm misspelling stuff right here, but these are the two main traffic sources. But there's so many other traffic sources out there that we can use, especially media buys and especially Instagram influencers and especially audience buying, which I'm going to show you here near the end of this course. So that's it. So let's get into the first phase of this and everything we need to execute on.